Hi guys, how's it going? This is one of my YouTube videos, and today I'm posting it on Facebook. So I wanted to give some opinions and some of my thoughts about what I think, comparing all of the Super Smash Brothers games together, which one is the best. But in my opinion, it depends. It depends on what categories you're talking about. I know a lot of people are on the big bandwagon of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and they say it's the best Super Smash Bros. Um, I'm gonna have to disagree. I think it's only best in the way of the huge character roster, the biggest roster there's ever been, and some of the new characters that are included in the game, like King K. Rool, Ridley, Simon Belmont, and all of those new characters in the game. Super awesome. Don't get me wrong, guys. I mean, I do love all the new characters in the game and the biggest character roster there's ever been in Smash Brothers history. However, having said that, there are a lot of other things that I don't like about Smash Ultimate because I feel that they ruined the World of Light adventure mode, which is not even multiplayer at the very least. I would have loved to have, 4 to 8 player co-op for an adventure mode, and basically a much more improved version of what Subspace Emissary would be from Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And Subspace Emissary was an adventure slash story mode that, you guys know for those who play Smash Brothers, but for those who don't know, it was an adventure slash story mode where you go around and fight a bunch of bosses and enemies that would constantly appear on the screen, throughout the levels you go through. And it was multiplayer. Well, I was hoping that Masahiro Sakurai, the director of Super Smash Bros., would have anywhere from 4 to 8 player co-op for the World of Light adventure mode in Smash Ultimate. And why I want that, and I'm sure a lot of other people want that, because obviously we want a lot more friends to join in the fight, and it's way more fun when a number of your friends can combine together on teams to take out the bosses together. And not saying that I can't take them out on my own, but it's way more fun, obviously, when you have more friends involved. And that's what makes Super Smash Brothers great, when you have team battles, and especially when you can team up to fight enemies together. And the other thing that I don't like about World of Light is that it kind of reminds me of Smash Tour from the Wii U Super Smash Bros. And Smash Tour was basically a ripoff of the Mario Party games. If Masahiro Sakurai wants to have anything that's a lot like Mario Party, then he needs to go talk to Nintendo directly and ask if he can make a Mario Party game, if he can direct one of those, like one of his made from scratch, if he really loves the Mario Party concept that much. I mean, I get the whole thing about diversity and opinions. Like, everybody has their different ways of how they think the game should be. But I know that it's really about the fight, because it is. It's really about the fight with Super Smash Brothers, with a bunch of Nintendo characters fighting against each other. That's the whole point of the game, yes. However, that doesn't mean that you guys can't request, even if it means signing a petition for Masahiro Sakurai to add more things into the game that would make it way more interesting. One of the things that he really screwed up on was not adding a stage builder, but one of my friends and I think it will eventually come. It's very possible, because we heard on Nintendo Direct that we did hear about Joker, and we're not talking about Joker from the Batman series. We're talking about a different Joker from one of the other video games. I can't think of the video game name at the top of my head right now. But he's supposed to be added into the game in April, and they hinted us on Nintendo Direct that that something about that there's still more to come about, talking about how they're adding in other things into the game, and it sounds like it's not just characters. You can find out for yourself, obviously, if you guys want to, and go on to Nintendo Direct, the latest one, and it pretty much implies, that there's going to be more than just characters added in. And now, why my friend Ryan and I think, for example, that Stage Builder could possibly be added in as downloadable content is because you notice how there are 6 empty spaces on the stage selection screen, and 5 of them are used for the new 5 DLC characters coming in, and Joker's one of those 5. But the 6th one is just it's just empty, and there's not a 6th DLC character. I mean, we're not counting Piranha Plant, because Piranha Plant was obviously a pre-order bonus with GameStop. But with that 6th space being empty, makes me think that maybe they could add a new mode in. It could be Stage Builder, it could be Home Run Contest, it could be something else. I mean, who knows? But I would certainly hope it's Stage Builder, because in my opinion that makes Super Smash Bros. Way more fun, because the options are endless, to how many ideas you can think of. I mean, you could literally think of thousands of ideas, hundreds or thousands of ideas for a Stage Builder. Whereas the regular stages that are pre-put into the game, eventually you're going to get tired of them if you're just playing on the same stages over and over again. And so, with that being said, why settle for just playing on the same stages over and over again when you could have endless options on a Stage Builder that pretty much keeps the game interesting, so that you and your friends will always have new stages to play on. And I think it would be outstanding if we could get Stage Builder back. So those are 2 concerns I have so far, about Stage Builder and about World of Light. The other thing that would be really fun, I hope Masahiro brings this into Smash Ultimate someday. It was something that they had in the Wii U Super Smash Bros., which is Target Blast. That's what it is. Target Blast basically was a really fun game that would have pretty much allow you to find ways to take a bomb. You got to damage it and put it at really high damage. And like, for any of you who played Wii U Smash Brothers, you know what I'm talking about. But for those of you who don't know, Target Blast was a game where you would stand on top of a stage or whatever, and you had to damage a bomb to a certain extent, to a certain, percentage number. And once you got it up to really high damage by hitting it with attacks, you would then charge your smash attack and try to launch it, far off the stage and make it break through blocks, and then you would have the bomb blow up on a target. And you definitely wanted it to land on one of the prizes that you can get in the game. It varies, it's random. Sometimes it could be, a little wrench icon, a green wrench icon. Well, I mean, a green icon that has a white wrench on the icon, and if the bomb touches that, you pretty much get a custom moveset that you can give to any regular characters in the game, or any Mii characters too, or not Mii characters, but I mean the characters on the regular roster is what I meant to say. But you can also earn costumes and headgear for the Miis as well, in Target Blast, and you could earn, things like trophies as well. I mean, it's just really fun, and you had all these custom things that you could put into your game, what you wanted your characters to have. And I think that was a really awesome concept. I think they should bring Target Blast back. And I think that they should also bring back some really amazing classic modes from the original Super Smash Bros., like board the platforms or break the targets or both. You know, that's been a tradition with Smash Brothers for a long time, is target test. Now, target test and target blast are two different things, as you know. And target test was basically you just had to break a certain number of targets to win on that level. But target blast, the whole point of that is to earn custom stuff. Board the platforms is another thing where you have to, you know, touch a certain number of platforms. You have to land on a certain number of them in order to win that level. But anyways, I was just thinking about all the things that I feel Masahiro Sakurai could put in Smash Brothers to make it way more interesting. You know, way more interesting because supposedly there is another mode in Smash Ultimate where I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's basically that you can win in that mode by facing every character on the roster and defeating them all. And that's another mode you can do, but in my opinion that's pointless because you could already just go on versus mode, just simply go on there and defeat all of the characters on that roster anyway. So I think it's a pointless mode. You know, we already have versus mode to do that. And I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I mean, Smash Ultimate is super awesome in the way of the most awesome character roster we've ever had, plus the new characters added that we were hoping would be in Smash Brothers for a long time with King K. Rool and Ridley, you know, all those guys. So in my opinion, out of all 5 Smash Brothers games, like you know, as much as I love the big character roster in Smash Ultimate, I'm actually gonna make it as my least favorite Smash Brothers game, not because of the character selection, but because of the lack of other modes that it has in the game. And I don't really like the new system, the way Smash Ultimate is, and I don't like the fact that you have to pre-choose the stage before you select your character. And I don't like that concept because I get why Masahiro Sakurai does it, because he thinks that players will have an advantage if they choose the character first and they know which exact stages to go to. You know, that benefits those characters specifically. But in my opinion, it doesn't make a difference because all the players already know the stages. They're already familiar with all those stages, and they already know which characters go best with which stages, regardless of the order, if you choose the stage first or the character first before going to the opposite screen. So I beg to differ with Masahiro Sakurai, and I think that they should have just left it the way it was before, with the concept of that you choose your character before choosing the stage, and that because that's the way it's always been in Smash Brothers for so many years. So I don't agree with him switching up the concept about choosing the stage before the character, because it really doesn't make a difference. People are going to figure it out anyways about which characters go best with which stages. So that's another issue I have about Smash Ultimate. You know, so all these reasons above is why I think this is the worst Smash Brothers ever. You know, I mean, the character roster is the most outstanding it's ever been. But the trade-off is that you get pretty much everything else that's not good in the game, and there are hardly any great modes in the game. Now, in my opinion, from a competitive stance, I think Melee is the best game, hands down, for a competitive stance and the most speedy Super Smash Brothers game there's ever been, and it always will be. Um, and I feel that Melee's the best for a competitive stance. Um, and as far as Super Smash Brothers Brawl goes, that's my favorite overall Super Smash Brothers game. I know it lagged a lot. I know it was slow, and I know it was lame that Masahiro added that tripping roll in when you try to juke your character and try to jump northeast or northwest, off the stage or whatever. But other than those two things, I mean, for the most part, Brawl, I feel it was the best overall Smash Brothers game because you still had a pretty good character selection. You had, I think it was like 35 to 38 characters in total. I count Zelda and Sheik as two separate characters because they have different movesets, even though Zelda is Sheik in disguise. But, they have their own movesets, and it's the same with Pokemon Trainer. All three of the Pokemon in the Pokeball, they all have different movesets, so I count them all as separate characters. So, but anyways, getting back on track here, why I like Brawl better is because even though it wasn't the biggest roster we've ever had for Smash Brothers, it was still a pretty good sized roster for its time. Back in 2008, that was a pretty good roster back then. 35 to 38 characters. It's still a lot of cool characters included. And they had Subspace Emissary, which I think was the best adventure / story mode there's ever been. And it was multiplayer, so you could have a friend team up with you to fight the bosses, which I really liked. And that made it more exciting. And plus, it still had Stage Builder back then, which Smash Ultimate does not have. And I think that's really lame that Smash Ultimate still does not have Stage Builder, but hopefully it will come this year when there are new updates in the game, like the 3.0 update they were talking about for Smash Ultimate. So hopefully that will include Stage Builder. I hope so anyways. Hopefully it will. I don't know that for sure, but you guys get the point. And the original Smash Brothers, I think that one is even better than Smash Ultimate. I know that sounds crazy to some people because I get why, the first Smash Brothers is the least favorite to most people because of how there's the smallest amount of character selection in that one, and there are hardly any stages to choose from. But it's such a good classic, guys. I mean, there's nothing like the old school days of the original Smash Brothers, even though it only had 12 characters in total and 12 stages, but they still had Sector Z on there, which was one of the things that I really liked about the original Smash Brothers. And Sector Z was such a fun stage to play on and playing in space. And no, guys, it's not the same as Corneira because Corneira is the ship that Fox and Falco and all of them are in, like in the storyline. And Sector Z is pretty much Andross's stage. So it's not the same, even though the ships look very much alike, but it's not the same stage. Plus, there's nothing like the feel of Sector Z, of being in space and seeing all the debris and stuff in the background and how huge the stage is for Sector Z, and it's just such a fun classic, And I honestly hope they bring that stage into Smash Ultimate someday. So guys, I just wanted to share my opinions on this today because, there are a lot of concerns I have about Smash Ultimate. As fun as it is, but there are so many things missing in the game that could have been in the game, but a lot of modes that people wanted to see in Smash Ultimate but never got in. So hopefully that'll change at some point, and that we get more modes in that we like and other things added to the game that we love, and some new super cool characters, because besides Joker, they haven't announced the other 4 characters yet for DLC characters anyways. And also, something else. I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say. Sorry, guys. Something else that came to mind about Smash Ultimate. Because there's something else I was gonna say about that before I go. But another kind of an issue that I have, but I get the whole point of why Masahiro Sakurai does this. But I noticed that the artificial intelligence for the level 9 computers in Smash Ultimate are way smarter and a little bit harder than the Wii U Smash computers, and of course the level 9s in Smash Ultimate are way harder, a lot harder than they've ever been in Smash Brothers history. And even though I get the whole point from a competitive stance why he's helping, you know, players improve by getting used to the harder competitions of the much smarter AIs in the game. But having said that, I think, in my opinion, they're a little too hard, and they're, you know, super obnoxious, super annoying to deal with in the game. So I don't like that, because they just invade your personal space, and they act like they've known you your whole life, you know, like they're your best friends. Like, they act like, you know, like, I mean, they act like they can just literally read your mind and about every play you're going to do, and they can just anticipate and counter everything. So I mean, I can still beat the level 9s in the game, but I'm just saying it's super frustrating. And I don't by the way, I forgot to mention something, guys, about World of Light, another problem I have with it. I don't agree with the whole thing with the spirits in the game. Those spirits power up things that are supposed to support your characters when you're going through the adventure mode. And I honestly don't like that. You know, because there are some levels that require you to use your spirits in order to win on certain levels, and I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that concept. Also, I forgot to mention that with Classic mode in Smash Ultimate, it feels like it's only halfway completed, and it seems like when you fight the computers on there on Classic mode, it seems like you only have half the way to go in order to win the whole Classic mode. Whereas in comparison to the original Smash Brothers and, of course, Melee, you had like twice as much computers to fight on in order to win the Classic mode. You had a lot more computers to go up against to complete it, and I liked it better when there were more, you know, computers to fight in Classic mode to make it more interesting. And but I will say, though, that it is cool that you can have multiplayer and you can have a friend team up with you for Classic mode. So at least there's that, you know. I mean, that part is cool, yes. But anyways, guys, I gotta go for now. I'm going back to work in a little while here. But I just wanted to share my thoughts about Smash Ultimate and other Smash Brothers games. And I hope you liked this video. If not, no worries, but this is just how I feel. But anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope to make more YouTube videos in the future with my thoughts and reviews on, you know, on many things, whether if it's video games or movies or really anything else for that matter of what's on my mind. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later.